So Vivo seems pretty adept at spaffing out smartphones faster than Ed Sheeran spaffs out god-awful pop dross that makes me want to put my head through the nearest pane of glass. And now, just 6 short months since I reviewed the Vivo V30 Pro, now I've had my SIM slapped inside of the V40 Pro for the past week, which may look familiar but makes significant improvements when it comes to the performance, the battery life, and also that camera tech. So come with me and we'll be in a world of Vivo V40 Pro. I'm sorry, no more singing, otherwise I'll get a copyright infringement. V40 Pro review, let's go! Now, the actual design of the Vivo V40 Pro will be very familiar if you are at all accustomed with Vivo's recent smartphones. It's another whopping great 6.78-inch behemoth, just like the V30 series. Although thankfully it doesn't feel any more cumbersome to clutch than other recent smartphones, because that screen does actually subtly curve around both edges. The bezels are minimal at best, they're pretty much non-existent. And of course, not everyone gets on with this sort of curvy design. Thankfully I haven't had any issues with screen responsiveness. Even when I've been clutching the phone pretty tight, it's still been pretty responsive, as you can see there. Actually, that's not entirely true. One time when I was using the camera, the shutter button wouldn't activate until I slightly adjusted the way I was clutching the phone. But apart from that, full week of usage, no issues. And this bad boy weighs 200 grams, so not too hefty either. As you can see there, pretty skinny stuff. The frame is unfortunately constructed from plastic, not metal, which takes away some of the premium vibe. But apparently the rest of the phone is constructed from shot alpha glass rather than Gorilla Glass. Touch wood, no scratches or scuffs so far after a week of mishandling being stuffed into pockets with other phones. You do get a pre-installed screen protector slapped on there, which certainly helps. And no mention of an IP rating or any kind of water resistance here, so I've certainly stayed well clear of bathtubs, sinks, anything that could potentially balk it. And this right here is the white model, but you can also grab the Vivo V40 Pro in silver or blue. As you can see, there are actually hints of blue, little flecks of it here in this white model. Again, it's kind of got bathroom tiley kind of vibes like a lot of Vivo phones. But you know what? I actually kind of like it. It's pretty subtle design overall, and it's very shiny, but also seems pretty resistant to fingerprints, scuffs, greasy marks, so that's definitely a bonus. And yes, this thing has been quite heavily handled after fish and chips, suppers, barbecues, all kinds of stuff, and it survived looking pretty much box fresh. Now, there's not really been any changes when it comes to the software side of things. It's still Android 14 with a good bit of FunTouch OS slapped on top, my favorite of all of the launches, purely because of its silly name. It doesn't mess around too much with the Android formula. You've still got your apps tray, you've got your Discover feed, got your notifications bar that you can drag down from anywhere. Just as you can see, it's got a bit of a different vibe from standard stock Android. And yeah, unfortunately, you do get a fair stack of crapware shoved on here. Stuff like Agoda, Facebook, Lazada, whatever that is, linked bloody in, Shopee, and quite a few of Vivo's own bits as well, including its own app store, its own browser, yada yada. It's pretty dense, and FunTouch isn't always the smoothest, sadly, but overall, to be fair, it hasn't been behaving badly. I haven't seen much in the way of bugs or general jank. And if you love to customize your blower, you've got tons of options stuffed in here. Not just the usual shenanigans like wallpapers, themes, and always-on displays. We dive on into dynamic effects. You can adjust everything from the fingerprint icon animations, right down to the animation that plays when you insert a USB cable. And as for the software support, well, Vivo doesn't really disappoint in that area. You got 3 OS upgrades for this bad boy, so Android 15, 16, and 17, and then also 4 years of security support. So it's not the absolute best out there, not as good as a OnePlus or a Samsung or a Google, but certainly doesn't let itself down either. And on the storage front, you've got a choice. You can either settle for 256 gigs or double up to 512. And no, as usual, not expandable via micro SD memory cards. Now, no changes when it comes to the display tech versus the old V30 series. It's once again a 6.78-inch AMOLED display slapped on this big bugger. The 2800 by 1260 pixel resolution, so those visuals nice and crispy sharp. Whether you're edited photos or just kick it back with some random guff on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever. As always, you can fiddle around with the color output inside of the display settings, but I like the default effort. Found it was fairly neutral overall. And you got full HDR10 Plus support as well, but no Dolby Vision as usual. And I don't believe the Vivo V40 Pro has LTPO text slapped on here. That refresh rate maxes out at 120 Hz. You can only manually set it to 60 Hz or 120, that's it. And thankfully we have been blessed with some sunshine here in the UK these past couple of days, and I've had no issues using the Vivo V40 Pro outdoors. Now auto brightness will max it out quite happily as soon as you set foot outside, keep everything nice and clear. And it's once again a stereo speaker output on this bad boy. There's no Dolby Atmos support or anything, you just have super audio inside of the sound settings, which can tweak the quality based on what you're up to. Haven't really noticed any proper difference, to be honest. We've also got audio super resolution to just boost the quality of low resolution audio. And those stereo speakers, proper loud and decent quality too. Let's just boost up the volume to max, give them a bit of a showcasing. Hello there, you magnificent bag of flesh and organs, you. Come join your Uncle Spurt in his sex dungeon. Did I say sex dungeon? I meant studio. So the earpiece speaker actually probably just as powerful as that bottom speaker, so it's quite well balanced audio and decent quality even at that maxed out volume, which yeah, certainly will do the job even in quite a noisy household. So now let's stroll away onto the subject of performance, and the Vivo V40 Pro is once again powered by MediaTek, but that old Dimensity 8200 chipset has been upgraded here to a Dimensity 9200 Plus. And that's backed here on my review model by 12 lovely gigs of RAM. So everyday running fairly smooth, as I say, occasional little bits of juddering from good old FunTouch. But when it comes to gaming, the Vivo V40 Pro absolutely smashes it out the park. The likes of Zenless Zone Zero runs absolutely charmingly well. Nice fluid frame rate, even when you bung it on the 60 FPS setting at the highest possible graphics settings, everything maxed out. Touch responsiveness absolutely fine and everything as well. And I believe you've got a vapor chamber stuffed inside of the V40 Pro just like the previous generation. This does help to keep the phone from overheating, although it certainly does get quite warm after just about 20-ish minutes of gaming. And thankfully not uncomfortably warm, and I certainly didn't see any kind of throttle in here whatsoever. So yeah, big up the Dimensity 9200 Plus, and if you're a gamer you'll certainly enjoy the V40 Pro. And oh yeah, as usual, you do get that FunTouch gaming mode chucked in there. Pretty handy stuff, so you can boost the performance when you need to. You can reject calls and block notifications, so you're not disturbed. Got the usual options for recording the gameplay and everything if you don't suck at games like I do. So the performance certainly gets a massive old Uncle Spurt thumbs up. When it comes to the battery life, well, the V40 Pro is just some kind of voodoo creation or something. That battery capacity has actually been boosted for this model to 5,500 mAh, one of the biggest out there. And I swear, it doesn't matter what you do on this thing, you will not be able to kill it within a single day. Now, just as an example, so far this morning I've had the screen on for an hour and a quarter, just demonstrating various bits to you lovely folk at home. And that battery percentage has only ticked down to 97%. Like, I've reviewed some smartphones recently where it'll be down to 97% by now, even if I just left it on the always on display the entire time. And I've found I can happily make it through 2 full days on a single charge, and that's with plenty of video streaming, plenty of camera use, Spotify streaming in the background, everything I usually do. So yeah, straight up, the Vivo V40 Pro, one of the best phones of 2024 for battery life. It's like Michael Bloody Myers, it just will not die. And even if you do just completely forget to charge the V40 Pro, you find you're running on power saver mode, well, no worries, just bung a cable in it for like half an hour. That'll give you a full day's worth of juice easily, because you've got 80 watt wired charging support on here. However, no wireless charging support on here, one of the very few criticisms you can actually level against it. So let's finish this lovely wee Vivo V40 Pro review with a squid at the optics. And what you've got here is a triple 50 meg camera setup headlined by Sony's IMX921 sensor with optical image stabilization. And Vivo's camera app is rather full on. Loads of different options to mess around with, including the ability to swap between vivid, textured and Zeiss natural modes. And this does make quite a significant difference to your photo, textured in particular, highlighting whatever is central in your pic. And that's on top of all of the other filters, of course, you get slapped on here. And then, of course, as always, you've got that aura light flash as well, which you can manually tweak from warm to cold, like so. This is now brighter than previous generations, and it can also automatically scale from warm to cold, depending on the ambient lighting. And I found that even in quite strong lighting, the Vivo V40 Pro's auto mode generally selects an appropriate ISO level, shutter speed, etc. to produce quite rich tones, especially if you leave it on that default vivid mode. Despite the pixel binning, my test shots were dense with finer details, so they look good even when you crop in. And when the lights are low, any motion does generally result in quite fuzzy, blurry pics, but the zoom still works pretty well. Not too much grain creeping in there either. But one of the undoubted highlights of the Vivo V40 Pro's camera is the portrait mode. Again, you've got an absolute plethora of options here, far too many to be honest, including various bokeh style effects. And also if you tap down here, you've got some suggested presets, including a bit of landscape portrait, street portrait, all at various focal lengths. You've actually got a choice of focal lengths down here as well. So 24 for a pulled back dramatic portrait. You've got 50 mils, which is probably my favorite for getting a portrait without being right in your subject's face. All the way up to 100 mils, which zooms in quite far, but still gets you a nice crispy snap of your subject. And I was very happy with some of the results that I saw spaffed out by the V40 Pro. Captures some great looking snaps of your kids, your cats. And that portrait sensor is also pretty good for just generally zooming into a scene. Although you don't want to crop in much more than 4 times because then things start to look a little bit, well, disturbing, really. As an example, this here Rolling Stones tribute band actually started to look like the Rolling Stones. As for that 50 meg ultra wide angle shooter, well again, this is perfectly fine for fitting more into frame. And for your video type shenanigans, the Vivo V40 Pro does max out at 4K resolution. There's no 8K option, but you can shoot 60 frames per second at Ultra HD. And I've got to say I was once again pretty impressed by the home movies pumped out by the V40 Pro. Even in quite tricky lighting conditions, this smartphone didn't absolutely fill its Y-fronts. Managed to keep the visuals pretty bright. You can even zoom in a wee bit. Things don't get too grainy and cack. Stabilization's decent as well, so you can move around a bit, pan and such forth, and no worries there, it doesn't get too jittery, even at 4K level. And the audio pickup's pretty decent too, as long as the sound isn't too full on. In crowds, things can get a wee bit distorted, but not much shonkiness even when it's quite blustery. And then yeah, up front you can also shoot 4K resolution footage using that selfie cam. And yeah, once again, pretty good even with strong contrast, although the stabilization not quite as good as with those rear cameras. And here's just a selection of my best selfies taken this past week. As you can see, I'm a massive selfie fan, take a lot of care and attention when shooting these things. And that right there, my lovelies, in a tasty wee nutshell, is the Vivo V40 Pro and my review of what I reckon of it after having my SIM slapped in there for a full week. And I've got to say, I really bloody like it. I'm still not a massive FunTouch OS fan, despite the hilariously weird name. You know what, the performance of this thing has been pretty stellar. The battery life has been absolutely incredible. The camera is a lot of fun to use, especially that good old portrait mode. Great if you've got kids, cats, whatever. So overall, it is a bit of a cracker. The only problem is you might struggle to actually find it depending on where in the world you live. Let us know what you think of the Vivo V40 Pro down in the comments below. Please do poke, subscribe and ding that notifications bell for more on the latest and greatest tech, and have yourselves a ruddy, wonderful rest of the week. Cheers everyone, love you.